In association with Official Wrestling comes A Few Good Marks podcast. We're live, pal!
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Fuck it!
Great way to start. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to A Few Good Marks Live. I am your host, Kieran, I'm joined by Croft.
Hello.
Candy, our predictions champion.
Hello.
My other half of the Virgil Card of Shame holders, Willow. Doing this in such the wrong order. Alex.
Hello.
Pete.
Heyo.
And our special guest is Mel. It's at the end. You've actually been honest to fit everybody in, which is a cheat, which is, it's very
We
nice.
didn't do that before. Do you remember when we all just like sat in a circle?
I know, yeah,
like,
that was,
around
whose idea was that? Anyway, so considering this is our FedWatch, before we get on to WrestleMania, we're going to just cover the basic things that's happened since Fastlane.
You're like the tech guy.
We've also positioned Willow in the middle because
I'm yellow.
he's yellow and everybody else is
black.
just
You're like our
living
Richard
on.
I'm the
Osman.
Asian.
This should be like a
We're
brand.
live!
Well, that, pal.
Right,
Can we do that again?
we're live, pal. So where you going with that? As it took me a couple of seconds just to click on what we were doing. Anyway, so considering this is FedWatch, I'm just going to go over the news very quickly. So Maria and Mike Kanellis had a baby. That's nice.
Aw.
Congrats.
Hey.
And the Miz and Reese also had a baby.
Congrats.
Okay, so moving on to other WWE news. The greatest Royal Rumble is coming up in Saudi Arabia because screw your women's revolution. We're just going to go to a country where women's rights are non-existent. So every main roster males title is going to be defended. They've already announced that there's going to be a ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship, which include the 3 competitors from tonight's match and Samoa Joe. The Bar versus the Hardys. That's supposed to be for the tag team titles, isn't it? But obviously, given what happens tonight, it might change. I didn't think of that actually. And then Cena versus Triple H has also been announced, and the 50-man Royal Rumble, for which there's only.
How can it be the greatest Royal Rumble if there's only 15?
No, 50.
Oh, 15!
15.
Oh.
Why is the
5-0.
Oh.
Why are they doing this in Saudi Arabia?
Probably to gain.
Money can be exchanged for goods and services.
Nuclear weapons.
But there's only been 5 names announced so far for the Royal Rumble, and that's Daniel Bryan, Big Show, Kane, Strowman, and Bray. So hefty.
4 great names there.
I know, right? The stadium that they're doing it in as well. Did a little bit of digging, and the capacity for the stadium they're doing it in is only 13,000. I thought it was going to be a lot bigger.
It's not really.
13,000. It's big.
Is that
It's really.
13,000 on it like normal? So like, you know,
You know,
extra
yeah.
Oh, true. So yeah, so it'd be
more seats.
so it'd be about 15, 16. Okay, well, that's still what an average Raw.
It's not the greatest attendance.
I mean, it's an average Royal Rumble.
It's a start. It's
Probably
a
a
start.
Saudi Arabia.
I can't wait for the greatest backlash.
The greatest Armageddon.
The greatest roadblock into the line.
The greatest Fastlane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of greatest, Triple H announced, I think it was yesterday, that they're bringing back the UK tournament, and this time it's at the Albert Hall in London.
It's pretty big.
You fancy?
Pretty big.
So we're going to London, boys.
Yeah, we're going to
Alex
Jan.
and Mel.
Guys, you could have said. And also on that subject, the WWE. I mean, this is. I
Did
think
you
this is
just
kind of.
assume our genders?
Yes.
You can't do that
See,
live on a podcast.
Well, live, pal. I think this is kind of like a dirt sheet thing because I'm not sure if they've actually officially announced this yet, but according to sources,
Hot scoop from
Zach Gibson has signed to WWE. Anyone in the UK or who follows Progress particularly will know Zach's work. Zach, obviously being from Liverpool, which we all are, which you wouldn't tell considering 2 of us are wearing shorts in like the start of April. But yeah, so he's well that too.
This is of course Liverpool's number 1.
He is of course
The number 1's Zach Gibson in Liverpool.
Yeah, so congratulations, Zach.
Well done, Zach.
Made his appearance at Access today, I believe. Yeah, well, of course.
Well done.
Absolutely. So that's the news.
Like he'll
oh,
watch
is it?
that.
The what?
Like he's gonna watch that.
You might do.
You never know.
Never know. Might have some downtime in your audience.
He might be our one fan.
What are these guys up to?
What's
You know,
A few good
What's
matches.
official wrestling up to?
you're damn right. Who knows? Be our biggest fan if he's not listening, is he?
No.
Sure. Anyway, NXT Takeover was last night. We're not going to cover it all because myself and Croft have done a very nice podcast, which will be out probably Tuesday. So you've got that to look forward to. But what did everyone think?
It was very good.
Don't all jump on this.
It was very
cracking
good.
show.
It was good. From what I saw of it, I did fall asleep.
Oh,
I thought it was good, but nothing blew me away.
really?
All the matches ended.
Really?
That was okay.
Croft reckons it's the best one they've ever done.
Yes, I think so.
I thought the main event was the best match there by a long shot.
In
Yeah.
NXT history, you mean, or of that night?
Well, yeah, I'd say. Well, it's hard to say whether in history. It's changed so much now, hasn't it? That
Yeah. I think
You're still longing for the days of Derek Bateman versus
I fucking am, mate.
Brodus Clay.
Tyson Kidd. I think
Derek Bateman was there.
he was there.
No, he wasn't. That was actually great.
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so
different from Guy.
I think Almas v Gargano is still my number one. Closely followed by.
See, the only reason that I wouldn't agree with it is because personally for me I would have had Gargano win, but that's just a small thing.
I think, considering what it's
But
like,
I think as a finish, Gargano and Ciampa tonight was better
it's
because
fantastic.
it went the way you wanted it to go.
Yeah, it was a really feel-good moment.
Yeah, well,
Something I mentioned on recent developments was something Takeover has been doing recently is swerving us at the very end. They put the show logo up, everyone think, oh, that's it, and then there'd be a big twist. This is the first one in a while where nothing surprising really happened, which was nice. It just ended on a lovely moment.
yeah.
So,
It was good.
It was like a nice season finale. Wasn't it?
yeah, it was.
Which, consider it's WrestleMania season, is kind of like on to
What
the
it
next
is.
chapter.
Everyone hits the reset button now.
Yeah, exactly. Indeed. So yeah, NXT. So that's all we've got to say on NXT Takeover. Really, anyone else got any more notes on Takeover?
My one negative about Takeover and the main event was should have been blood. Should have been blood.
There should have been blood. Yeah.
Because the shot for me, what solidified it in my mind was the shot of him standing over Ciampa with the crutch. I thought if he was bloody as fuck there's a fucking Bret
Also,
Hart,
we will
Steve
be
Austin.
swearing on this if you haven't
There's
done
a that's a Bret Hart, Steve Austin snapshot right there.
He did have his big swollen eye.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
Yeah.
not blood though, is it?
I know, that's true.
It's not blood.
True
And he
that.
needed it for
He
me.
did get a shot to the head with a crutch, though, unprotected.
Which is what caused the black eye.
Which I thought was, that's interesting.
Unless it was meant to be, who knows? Maybe it was a botch.
But other than that, yeah.
But other than that,
Great show.
solid. If you haven't checked it out, go watch it and then go listen to our podcast, which will be out next week, called Recent Developments. It'll be on our YouTube channel. So on to what we're all here to do. Give our
Spigara. Okada
Of
Tanahashi.
course. Candy, take centre stage.
In case you didn't know, last week Okada beat Zack Sabre Jr. and now he's got 11 championship defences in this reign, tying the record for Tanahashi. Tanahashi comes out at the end of the match, challenges him for one more match, 11 defences versus 11 defences, happening next month, and the man who ended Tanahashi's reign was Okada 4 years ago.
Oh,
So now
gotta
Tanahashi
love
has
some
a
New
chance
Japan storytelling.
to end Okada's reign.
Gotta love some New Japan storytelling.
So that's
We'll probably end up doing another New
interesting
Japan
match look for next month.
We'll do another New Japan special on that probably.
Do you think he can do it?
Tanahashi will beat Okada? I don't think they'll do it.
So
Okada's already the longest reigning champion, longest single reign. He might as well get this record as well. And then whoever beats him, probably Naito. Then he's beaten the greatest champion in history and ended the greatest reign in history.
Can confirm as well, both Tanahashi and Okada are at WrestleMania Access this weekend.
Yeah, I saw that.
Been
Oh,
spotted several times.
Oh.
As is Kenny Omega.
Well, Kenny Omega at the ROH show. He was facing.
this is also true. Yeah, they've had a lot of the around
Bullet
access
thing,
and that.
the
They have.
ROH Supercard.
He was
Yeah,
hanging
yeah,
around
that's
Access, and people who went to Access saw him at the event.
Well, Kenny Omega and Okada have been to Monday Night Raw and hang about backstage
It's
before.
true. But I just think it's interesting. WrestleMania weekend, it's nice to see them.
It's all about speculation, isn't it?
It's just fun to speculate.
Speaking
I
of
reckon
fun,
they bring her in
New
just
Japan
to see
contracts
people
start in January and
speculate.
run to January. So unless they've been bought out, then I can't see anything reading into any of that.
So, on to our predictions, which is what we're here for WrestleMania tonight. So, we're going to start with the Battle Royals and the other pre-show match, which is the Cruiserweight Tournament Finals. The way we're doing it with our predictions for the Battle Royals is the same point system for the Royal Rumble that we did. So, if your pick is in the last 5, you get 1 point. If they're eliminated before, whatever. If they're in the final 2, you get 2 points. If they win the whole thing, you get 3 points. So, best of luck. So, Croft, who have you got for the Andre Memorial Battle Royale?
I have Samoa Joe
Ooh, as a surprise entrant.
as the last surprise entrant.
Yeah, because this is interesting because they've announced 29 out of the 30. So,
I can't see them having a surprise entrant only for him not to win it.
not to win it. Unless it's...
Well, it happens at the Royal Rumble all the time.
It's true,
Yeah, but
but
it's
not when they've
WrestleMania.
announced everyone else. I feel like there'll be a big surprise. They'll come back and win it. So I think it'll be Samoa.
You going to my joke? Pete, jump over to you.
I'm going to say Baron Corbin because this is based off news I've seen where he's been in title matches on house shows. So if they are thinking about pushing him again,
And then they've got
Give it a
perfect.
second battle win.
yeah.
Fair enough, Mel, who have you got?
Matt Hardy, purely because I absolutely love him, and
That's
it's
fair.
hopeful. It's wishful
That is what we're
thinking.
about on a few good marks.
Okay.
It's just going
Literally,
with
my
them.
predictions are hope and wishful thinking.
Excellent, excellent. Alex.
Big Cass.
Okay. That's the return entrant as well.
Yeah, he's been cleared for ages now, hasn't he?
Yeah. Although I've heard, I'm going to spoil this now, I've heard rumours that he's Braun's partner.
I also heard that rumour, but then I thought it might be Joe.
Oh, what a team.
I know.
I have gone for Elias. I just think he's on a bit of a good run right now, and
He's the biggest star in there.
yeah, he's
Not doing exactly the same.
we gone with Elias.
Yeah.
Virgin Card Shame Holders, good strong. Candy, as champion, you get to go last. So
For equally vague reasons, I've gone with Matt Harding.
excellent.
I saw a picture of him stood next to the trophy and was like, yes, that works.
That's a nice
My
opportunity.
Yes.
Like when they're rolling the credits at the end of the show, that's something that people go, yeah.
I think it was just a thumbnail on some YouTube video. I was like, yeah, Matt Hardy. Like,
Solid reasoning.
It's so hard to call, isn't it? So
Well, that's-
literally anyone is a decent pick.
it's
Yeah.
so vague and it doesn't mean anything.
If Mojo Rawley could win it,
Yeah, if Mojo Rawley can win it,
Matt Hardy
Anyone
certainly
can-
win it.
anyone can win it.
Rawley can.
friggin' bring back the Hurricane.
I hope Truth wins it.
True.
I
Jesus
said this
Christ.
as well.
I hope he wins it.
no, he
Simon
wins it and
anyway.
pulls someone's fags out of the audience and smokes fags. I love that.
Moving swiftly on. Next we have the Women's Battle Royal, not the fabulous Wheeler Battle Royal. Just the...
Nor is it the sensational invitational.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you know about Jericho?
Now it's the Uterus Cup.
Oh,
It
that's
really,
true.
really does.
It is true.
What really annoyed me about this is that it's the first women's battle royal at WrestleMania. It's not. It's not. Stop.
Yeah, but that's because they don't want you to know that Santina Morello
Yeah, I
won the
understand
first
one.
one.
that,
It was a
but
Divas
it's
battle royal.
not the first.
That was Divas.
It was the Miss WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Was it a battle royal involving women
Yes.
at WrestleMania?
yes.
Wasn't
Won by
the
man.
first. Won by man, yeah. But it keeps annoying. It's annoying me that they keep advertising.
Well, there you go.
It
Croft,
was 9
who...
years ago.
Croft, who have you got
People
first?
remember.
Becky Lynch.
Okay.
Bucky. Alex.
Ruby Riot.
Pete. Pete's face there.
I don't want her to win. I don't like her,
Pretty
but I
essential.
just think.
Fair enough. I'm also saying Becky Lynch because I think the teasing whole Sasha and Bailey being the big feud going into it, but I think nah.
Would you reckon that they're both going to go at the same time type vibe?
Could do.
I think Becky will get rid of them both.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's too obvious for it to be either of them two. So fucking
Fair enough,
why not?
Mel.
Becky Lynch. So I love it.
I've gone for Bailey, just because I think it's just obvious going into it, but then it is. It's like for sure. Wheeler.
I've gone for Sasha. I think she'll eliminate Bailey.
See, I think it's going
I
to be
think that'll
Bailey
be the
because
last
it's
two,
going to be.
and then-
I think she'll eliminate because I think Bailey's going to eliminate Sasha, so I'm the complete opposite.
What can happen? Ooh.
Candy.
I agree with Willow. Sasha Banks.
Sasha.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
No reasons, just. It's less reasons than the Matt Hardy.
Pick a name at random. Next up is the finals of the Cruiserweight tournament to crown the new Cruiserweight champion. It's between Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali. Croft, who have you got?
It's pretty much defo going to be Cedric Alexander, I think.
Pete?
Yeah, Cedric.
Mel?
Same.
Alex?
Ali.
Oh! I've gone Cedric.
I've gone Ali because I don't know anything about either of them, and he looked nice.
Looks like a nice guy.
Now that Triple H just took over, I think he'll get it.
Do you reckon Ali?
Because all of the promo videos as well for the match have focused on him as well.
But if you've, 205 Live over the past few months since Enzo, all that kind of thing happened,
Yeah.
they've been pushing Cedric Alexander to the fucking moon.
Candy?
Cedric.
Cedric Alexander, so that's choose one. Okay. So that's pre-show all done, and now it's on to the main card. So I've tried to do this in as reverse order as I can, but then saying that I am starting on the return of Daniel Bryan and with Shane McMahon against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Croft, who have you got?
I've got Brian and Shane.
Brian and Shane. Pete?
I'm saying Kevin and Sammy.
Oh, upsetting the apple cart. Go on, Mel.
Same, Kevin.
Same. Alex?
Brian and Shane.
I've got Brian and Shane.
I've got Brian and Shane to beat Owens and Zayn.
Because they'll go to Raw anyway.
You were really proud of that rhyme, aren't you?
That's what I'm thinking. We go to Raw.
And Candy?
I've got Brian and Shane.
Brian and Shane. Fair enough.
But since,
What do we all-
since it's been mentioned,
But I'm
well,
smelling a heel turn.
Who from?
from Brian.
Think Shane. Just to really
I
swerve it.
don't
'Cause
think that.
why turn Brian
Well, yeah.
with as
yeah.
over as he is?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't
Why
think
not?
they'd have
If
him
it's
lose.
WWE.
I mean, yeah.
Well, I think also there's something we've
They
not
don't want more
covered. There's
of
something
the
we
problem.
didn't cover because it broke before we found a thingy. Like Brian's return, that's huge.
It's massive.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's why
massive.
he'd never lose his return.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Like this is going to be first match out. It's big pop. Daniel Bryan. You know what I mean?
I might cry when his music hits.
Something that really annoyed me about his return is something that never happened back in the day. You get genuine surprises. This was spoiled on social media before
Yeah.
SmackDown. It ruined the moment. If he just came out and announced it, the pop would have been huge.
But I think
it wasn't.
because social media is that big, and when you because you announce that anyway, it's going to spread like wildfire because of how big it is. Then you tell people he's going to be on SmackDown, your ratings go up
Yeah.
for SmackDown.
And
that doesn't happen the
It'd be
next week.
interesting to look back and see if there was a rating spike.
I would.
I think there was.
I would imagine there would have been.
Yeah.
That's fair. I can understand it, but it's a shame that organic surprises aren't really a
True.
thing.
The only time you ever get is at the Royal Rumble, like what we got with Ray and the Hurricane. So, the next match is the debut of one Ronda Rousey teaming with Kurt Angle to face the team of Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Croft,
Ronda and Angle.
Pete, Mel, Alex,
Tim.
same.
Same.
Hey! Sweet. Watch them fucking swervers now.
I have
It is Triple H.
Just to spite.
It's
Fuck
really
Steph. It's not Triple H. I was going to try and get fuck Steph,
Stephanie.
fuck you
Submits
Steph
from
in trending during this match because I've had enough of her. But I mean,
I have no hopes of this match. Did you see her Saito enter the fucking table on Monday Night Raw? He was so delayed. Ronda just jumped. Steph just went, oh, see ya.
I
It
loved
was
how
fucking shit.
Ronda didn't know whether to be angry or selling.
Yeah.
Like,
She was like this.
well, she's a newcomer. Like
I guess.
it's understandable. But I mean, I do get what you mean.
Yeah, she's a newcomer, so she shouldn't be in such a
Send it to
high-profile match at
But
WrestleMania.
I
at the same time, Mr. T was in the main event of WrestleMania.
And it was awful.
Make her earn a spot. Put her in NXT like the rest, like Shayna Baszler. After
Yeah,
the-
but
She's a
not
huge
doing
star
that,
that's
yeah.
drawing money. Like
going to.
there's two perspectives you can look at it from. There's the wrestling sense or there's the business sense. Like, you know what I mean? And like people are gonna pay, even if she is shit, the casual fan is gonna pay to watch Ronda Rousey in a wrestling match.
And then if it is shit, it's gonna just
It won't matter.
Go
It's
to shit.
like yeah, exactly.
They've made the money.
They've made your
Yeah.
money. They've got your money off
Got
you
your money
anyway.
now, haven't you? So-
Who cares?
Yeah, they don't care.
Moving on to this could be a potentially interesting one is the Usos against the New Day against the Bludgeon Brothers. Croft, who have you got?
Bludgeon Brothers.
Pete?
I'm saying Usos.
Mel?
New Day.
Ooh, Alex?
Usos to retain.
I've also gone with the Usos.
I've also gone with the Usos.
Candy.
Bludgeon Brothers.
Yes, Candy.
Bludgeon Brothers. See, I know that they've been put into the mix, but I think they've purely been put in there because the Usos and the New Day have done everything, and you throw 2 extra guys in there, 2 big guys who are able to throw people around a bit. That adds an extra bit of dynamic. It's fine, and I think the Usos have earned this WrestleMania win.
I think they're gonna have Usos and New Day kick 7 shades of shit out of each other, and the Bludgeon Brothers are gonna take advantage and get.
Capitalise, yeah.
I was thinking it might be the other way. If Usos and New Day, the 2 biggest tag teams, have the Bludgeon Brothers kick the shit out of them.
Yeah, and take the spot.
Yeah.
Maybe
See,
so.
I think they're gonna go for like a Bludgeon Brothers New Day angle. So that's why I think they'll just like sort of fight amongst each other, like themselves, and the Usos will just
Sneak a victory.
Sneak a victory.
I could see New Day breaking up tonight because of the loss.
Say that.
I think that's what they'll do.
They have sort of like run the course now, haven't they?
I reckon they'll have.
There's nothing really. They're not
Day.
still.
I reckon they'll have Bludgeon Brothers
They're
win.
starting to get a bit stale for me.
New Day will
The
break
whole
up, and
thing's all packaged.
Usos and Bludgeon Brothers will fight,
Oh, no.
and then New Day will do their thing. That's how I see it.
See, because I really want one of them to be WWE champion within the next like 3 years or so.
Big E.
Well, yeah, Big E. But I mean, to be
Please.
fair, I'd really love it if Kofi got his chance.
I don't think he will. at
I
this
don't
point.
think he will, but I mean, it would just be such a sweet moment.
It would.
Be boss, but hey, we okay. Next up is the Raw Tag Team titles. It is the Bar defending against Braun and a mystery partner.
It's Brain.
Ooh,
It's Brain Strowman.
well, I'm going to ruin the surprise, but.
As
that
soon
wasn't
as
funny. Moving on.
I
So,
saw a
Crofty,
picture of that, and the first thing I thought was, "Is Joseph Park come to it?"
seen this storyline.
Shall we, as part of the prediction, say who we think the partner's going to be?
I mean, I'm not counting it. But
We won't count it, but
Yeah, let's just do it for fun.
I think it'll be
So
Braun,
who's winning?
Braun to win
Yeah.
with James Ellsworth.
No. James Ellsworth's got independent dates overseas. There's no way in hell it's James Ellsworth.
Well, we'll see.
How wrong?
Say it right.
That's like pushing
So
a kid's
much.
dream, that.
Saying that for it's not James Ellsworth.
Thank you for that. Thank you for ruining the magic of WrestleMania. It's like you've gone up to a kid and said, "Hey, have your tooth fallen out? Yeah, you're going to put that under your pillow so your mum can give you a $5."
And then they'll be extra disappointed when they don't get a $5.
Yeah, Christ.
I thought that as I was saying it. I thought, I wish I'd got a $5 of mine.
Pete.
I'm going to say Braun, and I don't know, because there's quite a few like candidates, but I think Big Show just is another big lad.
Fair enough. Mel?
I say Braun, and I have no idea who it could be.
Take a
There's-
wild
there's
guess.
too many.
I mean, if he's saying Ellsworth, you may as well just say anyone.
I'll say Ellsworth. I'm going to
Yes.
extreme.
I was really close to saying Neville.
Gilbert.
Gilbert. Alex?
I've gone for Braun with Samoa Joe.
Yeah, I've gone for Braun, but I'm also going to say Samoa Joe. I think that's an excellent shout.
It's a good shout, isn't
Excellent
it? Imagine
shout.
how much you'd mark out as
Oh,
well.
mate, I'd
Those two together, them
much.
two big
I've
sweaty
got a feeling I know who you're going to say for the
Biceps.
mystery partner.
I'm going to say Braun and Hulk Hogan.
men.
If it can be Ellsworth, it can be Hulk
I'm
Hogan.
not
That's
saying-
more plausible than it being James Ellsworth.
Imagine fucking just
Just
like.
keep shitting on him, it's alright.
If I don't know, I'm all for it. I love that.
Yeah, if fucking just turns around, points at the Tron and just fucking red and yellow.
It would be amazing.
Fucking Hulk Hogan comes out. I'll
He's
jinx.
marking out already. It's not even
I'm
happening.
knocking out the thoughts of it. So it actually happens.
Candy.
I was having a floor if it's The Undertaker. He fucks up
Major
Cena.
swerve. Fuck you, Cena.
Fuck you.
He's like,
Yeah, but it's going to be
See,
alright.
you're old news. I'm going with Strowman and winning the tag titles.
Yeah, well, that'll be fine.
Candy.
Cena will be in his fucking cheap
Cheap
seats
seats.
at the top.
With his cause lights. The helmet
he's
on
on
and he's like,
Braun t-shirt on.
Yeah.
Have his Braun t-shirt on for that match.
Camera just cuts to him crying.
Candy, who have you got?
I've got Braun, and I'd probably say the Big Show, but that'd be the most disappointing reveal.
So everyone's gone for Braun though, so that's the second clean sweep of the night. Next up is the undefeated streak of Asuka against Charlotte Flair.
Not Asuka herself, just the streak.
Yeah, just the streak. The physical embodiment of the streak, also known as Asuka. Croft, who have you got?
Asuka.
Asuka. Pete.
Asuka.
Mel.
Asuka.
Alex.
Asuka.
I also have Asuka.
I've got Carmella cash-in.
See,
but
I
who
would
wins
kind
first?
of
This is the match, though.
Yeah,
Who wins first?
She does a
that's what
Seth
I mean.
Rollins.
Yeah, I don't think
Cashes
I don't
in
think we
halfway
get it.
through.
Yeah, I don't think we get a finish.
Jenny, so you think she's going to cash in like midway through like
Yeah.
Rollins did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. Candy?
And Asuka.
Asuka. Okay, so all Asuka apart from one.
Mhm.
All right, fair enough.
Well,
But you do
it's
realise
interesting.
if she says, all right, let's say it this way: if you're saying like that, like the Rollins cash in, if one of them does win, so say Asuka does win, then
I
she cashes
get
in.
no points.
Okay, I'm glad. Well, I wanted you to say it before we
Yeah,
played.
I know what I'm getting myself into.
Who knows the risk?
Burying
Yeah.
himself, yeah. Well, I mean, you are the virtual card. We are the virtual card chain holders. You
Can't get any worse.
I know, right? Next up is Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax Croft. Who have you got?
Nia Jax.
Pete.
Nia Jax.
Mel.
No.
Alex.
Naya.
I also have Nia.
I have Nia.
Nia.
Hey! I think it's pretty obvious, isn't it?
Alexa's been booked really shit for a reign as champion.
She's been running away from us. Well. She's not been like a.
She.
That's the point, isn't it?
She's a heel.
No, that's
Well, yeah, but it's
I
like.
think,
Yeah.
Wrestling.
I think
Wrestling.
I think this match will be really good because Nia thrives when she's got someone who can be a bump monkey to just throw around. And
Yeah, she had
Alexa,
a-
at 5 foot tall, she is that person. She will just fucking launch herself.
It's going to be 2.5 minutes of Alexa running away, isn't it?
Yeah.
And she's going to grab her by the ear. She's going to slip away, do something, and then out of nowhere she's going to just body slam her. And that's like,
Yeah.
Leg dropper. Hopefully she hits it this time.
Did she not hit it last time?
She hits it like 1% of the time.
Ah.
But WrestleMania stage isn't going to help.
No, not at all.
Sliding like.
She'll hit the rope and just fall through them.
WrestleMania moment.
Oh my god.
Someone in WWE shitposting, shout out to them, worked out the average length of time between Alexa's title defences in something like 55 days. So I'm really hoping for Jax to win it because I'm a bit sick of that.
Same.
Fair enough. Moving on, the United States title is Randy Orton defending against Jinder Mahal, Bobby Roode, and Rusev. Who have we got?
Rusev.
Pete.
I've got Randy Orton.
Oh, Mel.
Rusev.
Alex.
Rusev.
Rusev.
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton.
Oh, no one picking Roode or Mahal.
I did
Oh,
want
wow.
Jinder Mahal.
I wonder why.
I brought an Indian
Rusev.
beer for when Jinder Mahal wins it.
I just think
Living in hope. Just, I mean, if he doesn't win now, you can't have that beer. That is now donated to my house. Hope you realise this.
F off.
I think it'll be a proper WrestleMania moment if
As
Rusev wins.
soon as I see his back knee, it'll go.
On his back knee.
She was hitting the wrong at the start.
Great theme.
Yeah, so all pretty decided on that. Next is the triple threat for the Intercontinental belt, and it's The Miz against Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. Who have we got?
Rollins.
I feel like we've swapped now.
We have.
Because now I'm saying Balor.
Oh,
Balor.
well. Alex?
Balor.
Balor.
Rollins.
Rollins.
Reckon the Bullet Club t-shirt. I'll go with the first leader of Finn Balor.
Finn Balor. So that's, yes, no one reckons Miz to retain.
No.
I think Matic's on track. Yeah, I'm going to say
Yeah.
Matic.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
very
he
true.
might.
Very true.
And he'll drop it tomorrow. That's the only logical thing I can see happening.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe like a returning Samoa Joe if it's not tonight.
Yeah.
Something like that. Fair enough. Okay, big two matches, final two. So we're going to start with the WWE title match. AJ Styles versus Nakamura, rematch from Wrestle Kingdom 10. Croft.
AJ.
Pete.
Nakamura.
Mel.
Nakamura.
Alex.
AJ.
I've got Nakamura.
I've got an AJ.
AJ.
Reckon the shirt of the Bullet Club. I'll go with the second leader.
AJ Styles. That's pretty even between us all, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It could come down to that one. I've got a feeling that we're all
I think
on the next
going in,
match.
I thought that would be the most divisive match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to be. It's going to be so interesting to see. Even like just the in-ring, because there's been very little build. I think that means that there's not much story to have. So it's just who's going to be the better wrestler. So I think that's going to
I
definitely.
have one hope for this match, and that's that they're given time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need a good 20 minutes for this.
Yeah,
Plus.
25.
Have
Probably.
you worked out that a lot of the match, because there's so many matches this year,
13 in
There's-
total.
there's
There's 10 on the main show.
I think the average time that they worked out that they'd get if you like split it all evenly, I think it was like 9 minutes per match. That's not much.
No, wait.
There was one long
Because
match
when
last
you-
year, and it was the second match,
when you-
and that was about 25.
Well, the AJ Shane match went 20 minutes, and that was the first
that was
match.
the day when they were.
To be
that's
fair,
why.
when you're watching WrestleMania and you take away the Hall of Fame entrances, people putting over the network, going to all the other commentators,
Kid Rock
promo
concerts.
times, Kid Rock concerts, only 50% of the time are
on the
people
network.
actually wrestling. So that's how they work.
Well, it is the show, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what it's
That's how
billed
they
as.
worked
It's
out
billed
9
as the
minutes.
show.
I reckon there'll be a few squash matches. I
Same,
reckon
like Nia and Alexa.
Nia and Alexa, I think, won't go very long.
No.
2 minutes, I reckon. I reckon it'll be really short.
Maybe Braun
Here's
and
open.
Braun and Bar.
Yeah,
If
it
it is a
depends
big
who's
show,
going
it's probably
over.
fucking squash them.
Very true.
I feel like this next match isn't going to be very divisive.
Well, before we get to that, do the one other prediction, this obviously didn't count, but do we think we're getting The Undertaker tonight?
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Do
As
American
American Badass.
agree.
I think the reason he's not been turning up to Raw though is he's been going to the Manhattan Center.
Still there.
Yeah, he's like, wait, John, I'm coming to Raw. You want me to come to Raw? He's like, looking around.
He's not bad.
I was here last. It was here last time.
The Ico Pro back still. So our final predictions match is for the Universal title, and it is the challenger Roman Reigns, control yourself,
Check who I've got for this one.
against Brock Lesnar, Croft.
Paul Heyman. Nah, it's Roman Reigns.
Carmella Cashin.
Peter
Roman Reigns.
Now,
Roman Reigns.
do I even have to ask?
Yeah.
I've gone for Reigns.
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 You put your t-shirts over earlier. I'm going for the leader of the Roman Empire Club.
Thought you were going to say the Shield then. I was like, hang on a minute. Hold the phone.
Hashtag
reunion.
believe that.
Meningitis.
It fizzled
Dean
away because
Ambrose.
Dean Ambrose got injured. But there we go. Yeah. I think that's going on last, and I think we're all expecting it. Have you heard the rumours that there's going to be a massive that Reigns is going to actually turn now? He's going to shake hands with Heyman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I've heard that because Heyman did a tweet saying, no matter what happens, I will be leaving with the Universal Champion. And I was like,
Oh, that's yeah.
and Brock's obviously fucking going to UFC. So unless Paul Heyman retires.
Leave him with the
He just takes the belt.
takes the belt himself. It's me.
The Miz has gone on Baby Leave. Curtis Axel meet another manager. Reuniting with Heyman.
Absolutely. Well, there we go. So it's all up for that's that then.
Now, if Taker does come back as the American Badass, I know Kid Rock's going in the Hall of Fame, but I don't want him to come out to
Well,
fucking
apparently
Kid Rock.
Limp Bizkit are also in attendance.
Apparently Limp Bizkit are at.
we were in the room for this news, so you guys just like.
There was I read a thing on Facebook. Obviously, I don't know how true it is. Take it with a pinch of salt because it was on Facebook. And it said that Limp Bizkit would start playing the first song, and then the fucking
Kid Rock.
Kid Rock. No, sorry, yeah, I got it wrong. Kid Rock would play the first song,
And
then they'd play the middle song, and then they'd play Limp Bizkit at the end. Apparently, they're in New Orleans as well, but you said that it's something to do
Sounds
with
like
it.
everyone's in New Orleans.
They're just fans, so they could just
Yeah, you said something about them being fans or something. So who knows? But I think Roman Reigns retired the dead man, but no one's retired.
no one's retired the Undertaker. Very true, very true. Right, well, we're going to end our live stream here. We'll because we'll have we normally have story time at this point. We're going to save that for our roundup podcast.
What? I thought that was now.
No, we're going to save it for the podcast, so we've actually got something to put it on. Otherwise,
Oh, for tomorrow.
And you got two stories.
Oh, right.
Sorry, so we're running the live stream now, but you want to hear these story times as we're gonna have them, then be sure to check out our WrestleMania.
Looks that
He still gets to do it, just not on a live stream. If you want to hear them, it's going to be on
Tell me now.
on the Roundup podcast, which is coming out Friday next week,
Tell us
which
now
will
and we'll all
include
laugh again in the morning.
our roundups. So, I can read it in your eyes. So, thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon.
Fuck you!
And welcome back to A Few Good Marks. It is currently 16 minutes past 5 in the morning. We are all running on very little sleep, some beer and fast food.
Lots of rage.
Right, before we get on to any angry bits, let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. So we kicked the night off
with a microwavable doner kebab.
Yes. But WrestleMania kicked off with Matt Hardy winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. There was a moment where it was down to Baron Corbin, Mojo Rawley and Matt. The lights flickered, went down, and Bray Wyatt appeared. Bray Wyatt helped Matt eliminate the other two, and then they hugged, which started off the what was it? The rest
Friendly Mania.
Friendly Mania.
Yeah,
where everyone hugs at the end.
Friendship always wins.
Friendship always wins.
Unless you're fucking Brock Lesnar.
So Matt Hardy won that, hooray. Next up was the final for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. Cedric Alexander defeated Mustafa
Are we
Ali.
going to skip over Fat Sin Cara?
No, we're not. Holy
shit.
shit.
Like, I'm not sure that was Sin Cara under the mask.
Someone's just painted on his tattoo and just put on a load of weight.
He was the plant that Braun was supposed to get, but he put on a Sin Cara mask and got in, so he panicked and got
walked up
Nicholas.
into the wrong match.
Yeah.
Are we also skipping over Goldust Davin?
I mean, that was.
Tapping on them
It was all downhill from there, really, wasn't it? That was the peak of the night.
Too soon.
That was the
Too
peak
soon.
of the
If we'd have
night.
dabbed in the main events, we would have been fine.
It was like a cross.
It
and
kind
then
of built up to it with a few moves, and then
he was all set, and then just like he went from like 5:15 to 5:2. Anyway, so Cedric Alexander. So Cedric Alexander defeated Mustafa Ali. He is the new Cruiserweight Champion. Congratulations to you, sir. And then it was Friendly Mania because they hugged at the end.
That was the right result.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool entrance from Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, I won one.
Laser Mania.
I won one. Can you imagine go around St. Helens, one of them?
You would get mugged immediately.
Nah, you just blind people. Fuck you, I've got lasers on my hand.
Half of the town would think you were a god, and half of the town would think you were a fucking wanker and would mug you immediately. You try walking outside of Coco's with a fucking laser on your hand.
Did burn you for being a witch?
You were getting burned at the stake at dawn, mate.
The final, your pre-show main event was the 20-woman Battle Royal, Women's Battle Royal, WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. And we all thought Bayley had won. And we were all,
Which seemed like a fair result.
yeah.
Yep.
And
She
then
turned
Naomi
Natasha.
just decided, so I rolled out underneath the bottom rope.
Has she turned heel though?
Who?
Bailey?
I wouldn't say
I
so.
mean, not at the moment.
I think if she'd actually won the match and then started like gloating and celebrating, then yeah. But then
Yeah.
Naomi popped up out of nowhere.
Like, and this is my one problem with this match is that in a men's battle royal, that wouldn't happen. Everyone stays in the ring until you get thrown out.
Because there was at
You
one
don't
point
go
we were
out.
like, hang on, has Bailey been eliminated?
Yeah, they were
And
just-
then
they were just rolling out of the
she was
ring.
lying on the floor.
It's
outside.
like, well, no, don't adhere to
Do
the
it-
same rules, the same sort of.
Do it once or twice with your heels. Let your heels roll out the ring and get
Yeah,
some heat.
what do you gain from Naomi coming in sneak attacking?
Yeah,
It's
Last
like,
year's Rumble when Jericho lasted 61 minutes, half an hour was on the outside where he was heel and he would just keep bobbing in and out.
Yeah.
And not everyone was doing it. There was a point where half of the competitors in the match had rolled out the
Yeah.
ring. Faces and heels.
So I don't know what was going on there. Anyway, on to the main show.
Also,
and-
sorry, quick one on the pre-show. Forgot to mention it in the first Battle Royal. Dolph Ziggler skinning the cat about 17 times.
channeling his inner Shawn Michaels.
Just fuck off. Hated that.
So
You'll notice a theme developing.
yeah, I was gonna say
Boneless. Fucking angry.
next up was the Intercontinental title match. Miz defending against Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins was wearing a lovely little Night King number from from Game of Thrones. Even had the contacts in as well.
Rollins displaying the latest in Game of Thrones fashion.
Seth Rollins looked absolutely nice.
did, didn't he?
Okay, solid feedback there.
Contact.
He looked absolutely nice.
Lovely blue.
People don't fix it absolutely nice with that.
What was that
Why
about?
did you take out his contacts?
I would have loved a close-up of him going. Trying to get this solution in the pot.
I
trying
can't
to get him
fucking
in.
do that.
Oh my god. Anyway, Seth Rollins won. He is the new Intercontinental Champion and is a Triple Crown winner. Hooray.
Grand Slam. now.
Grand Slam, indeed.
Lost so
well
to do it.
done, Seth. You're a good guy. Next up was...
Very nice.
amazing. Next up was the SmackDown Women's title. It was Charlotte against Asuka, and Charlotte beat the streak to retain.
I loved it.
It was amazing.
Match of the night for me, I
What
think.
a match.
Ask her fucking
Great
tap.
match.
I didn't clock at the time, but it's like it's your first loss, and you had to tap out.
Yeah.
I get Charlotte over, fair play, but I don't know. I'm still angry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Charlotte
Well,
looked like
if you're angry, you're not going to like
Yeah.
this next
Charlotte
one.
was definitely the best
Charlotte's
person in the
entrance
match.
was amazing.
It was.
The similarities between the Triple H entrance at
Triple H.
30
That she was a part of.
that she was a part of, and now like her almost imitating the same thing, but with the roles reversed was really, really cool. Really cool. The next up was the Fatal 4-Way for the WWE United States title. Do I say WWE? Of course it's WWE. We're at WrestleMania. It's not going to be the fucking New Japan United States title, is it? United States title, Fatal 4-Way. It was Jinder Mahal.
ROH World title.
There's Jinder Mahal, Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, and Rusev, and friggin' Jinder Mahal won.
Pinning Rusev.
I loved it.
After a coloss.
How dare you get yourself over?
Distraction by a Singh brother.
How
and the
dare you
Cross.
get yourself over? You shall lose clean
It's
to
like
Rusev.
we've progressed in a year and nothing has changed. Jinder Mahal is still winning matches with the exact same finish, just with one less brown guy on the apron.
Wow. I didn't realise you were that angry.
I'm sorry, that's not a racist statement.
Okay.
Just an observation.
I brought up the second. I think after the second match for Jinder as champion, like his first defense. So it's like this was the exact same finish we had last time.
Yeah, I've noticed.
that
this.
was about May last year, and it's still going on.
It's like, yeah.
They're still using the Singh brothers as these nameless guys that are helping Jinder. No one knows the names.
No.
They're
There's
just them fellas.
Sunil and the other one.
Exactly.
I don't know which one was there tonight.
Sunil.
Sunil. Oh, I
Sunil.
got that wrong as well.
They're just the nameless cronies helping him win again, and it's annoying.
it's bullshit.
Fucking hated it.
The next match was Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey against Triple H and Stephanie. Admittedly, Ronda was a lot better than people thought she was going to be.
Yeah.
She was
The
great.
match was in storyline as a storyline match, not as a wrestling match. You know what I mean? Like in terms of the story it told, it was good. All through the match, Stephanie was just being a biatch, and then you finally got to see the comeuppance she tapped at the end. So,
But a big gripe I had is that MMA is MMA. Ronda is in MMA and she's an Olympic bronze medalist, and yet Stephanie survived 3 cross arm bars despite not being ever trained.
Or wrestling at WrestleMania.
Yeah, and it's you can't beat Stephanie. You're meant to be the greatest woman MMA fighter ever.
I think
And
there
you're
was she
struggling
never
to beat
fully
Stephanie
she never
McMahon.
fully locked it in right until the end though.
Yeah, which means Stephanie McMahon is working out how to counter.
Well, she was only locking it in, and then at which point there's
Oh, with the fucking buggy whip arms.
I don't know.
Which implies she'd be better in MMA than Misha Tate, who couldn't work it out.
But yeah, anyway,
Stephanie's better than all the women Ronda has beaten in
Yeah.
UFC.
Kurt and Ronda went over.
Curtin
That was nice. It was a nice moment.
That match was 20 minutes.
Yeah, it felt long.
20
It was the longest match of the night, I'm
minutes.
pretty sure.
Steph was shit.
Yeah, it is
Just
by
about by
20
20
seconds. By
They had
20
more
seconds, that's the
time.
longest.
The Stars and Nakamura.
Yep.
Who's the second
By
one?
20
By 20
By
seconds.
20 seconds.
The next up was the triple threat for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Was the Usos defending against the New Day and the Bludgeon Brothers. This was actually a really good match.
It didn't get a lot of time, but it was Really,
It was what it needed to be to get the Bludgeon Brothers over as this like destructive force against these two teams who have put on phenomenal matches after phenomenal match, to come in and just decimate them in 5 minutes.
It was really good.
It was really well done. Then out of nowhere we got The Undertaker against Cena. It was really cool. It was sick.
How long was that?
2 minutes 45.
But 18 minutes in entrances.
Yeah.
18 minutes.
Because I really enjoyed
But the whole segment,
Was that
like,
including Elias?
that was a really good fake out. I honestly, like, when we were sat here, I thought what was going to happen was Elias was going to get down to the ring, was about to start singing, and then would go to strum, and then it would all cut out, and then he'd be the cannon fodder. It wouldn't be a match between Undertaker and Cena, which obviously it was, but then obviously Cena was just like, screw you, and then was walking up, and then it was like, oh shit, it's on. But it was boss to see Taker back.
It was a highly disappointing match.
Well, I mean, what more do you want? What more do you
Taker
want?
had some pretty bad clotheslines, an awful rope walk thingy-majig, one of the worst snake eyes I've ever seen. Then he hit a decent leg drop, a decent tombstone, and it was over. I was like, this was a bit
This
weird.
was supposed to be like some sort of dream match, and it went on for 2 minutes.
Yeah,
For the build they gave it for John Cena to be every week, like Undertaker, get proper intense.
I think Cena sold it really well though, because he was like you know, he's not here. He's walking back, and then when Undertaker was coming out, like you could see on his face, like, I didn't actually expect this to happen.
But then,
you know what I mean? He wasn't. He was just doing it for doing its sake, and so it caught him off guard. And you can kind of go off that. We'll see what happens on Raw tonight. But I mean,
we've been talking about this for 3 or 4 weeks. Like,
Yeah,
surely
it's been in the pipeline for months.
And also, surely he's seen the Undertaker sit up at least once.
Bloody hell, I've never seen this before. Jesus, what's going on here?
Tombstone, I've lost.
oh
I was
well.
like, oh, great stuff.
It was nice to see the Undertaker anyway.
I see Cena in the front row.
Yeah, Cena's reactions.
I'm still pissed off he wanted a cheap seat.
I'm not having that he got that good a seat.
That late. No, I'm not having that.
He was supposed to be Braun's partner.
He was stood outside the Superdome. He was like, has anyone got a front row seat? I'll give you £1,000 for it. Or dollars even.
I'll let you be Braun's tag team partner. I can have your seat.
The next up was the Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. It was really nice to see Daniel Bryan back.
The neck was on a roll at this point.
That was a feel-good, really feel-good moment.
Friendship born again.
Friendship, yeah, absolutely.
Friendship.
Everyone hugs, and Daniel Bryan tapped out Sami Zayn for the victory. It was just really nice to see Daniel Bryan back.
I don't remember much of the match, but it was a nice moment.
I remember Shane.
It was mostly
awful.
like
Shane's fucking awful offense.
Mostly.
And I remember Daniel actually being really, really surprisingly still fluid and really solid.
Willow had better offense at 4 o'clock in the morning than Shane McMahon did.
Next up was Nia Jax against Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship, and Nia won in convincing fashion. It's about time she got the belt. It's a right time to do so. I don't think if they'd have done it last year, it would have been way too early. This feels like the right time and the right progression for it. So we'll see where she goes from here. I suspect she'll have a rather long reign. Don't see anyone probably Rousey at SummerSlam or Survivor Series. But apart from that, I don't really see anybody else dethroning Nia Jax very quickly at all.
No, it was a big face win for her.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good match as well. I was really impressed.
Yeah, it was a really good match.
I've never been that high on her, to be honest with you, but she impressed me.
It did, and like Bliss put on a really convincing performance. Like it could have, yeah, and it, like, but even like when she was on offense, it could have gone either way. So it was good.
And we got the great important lesson: if you're being bullied, Samoan drop from the second row.
Fuck out of them.
Beat up the mate first.
Yeah.
Your smallest friend.
The next match.
Whack on a revealing outfit first.
In this one, friendship did not win.
Next match was the WWE Championship match. AJ Styles against Shinsuke Nakamura. 20-minute match. We were saying like this was a New Japan match in front of a WWE crowd, and they didn't know what to think.
They didn't know what was going on.
I'm gonna have to rewatch this one, I think, because I, at the time, wasn't really into it. But I think that's because I'm very much part of that WWE audience that doesn't really get it. So I think on multiple watches, I'll probably be more up for it.
I think if you watch it again a second time, knowing that it's going to be slower, they're not going to hit as many moves, then you might enjoy it more. But I think because
you wait for that build, you wait for that.
I think Styles hit a forearm around 15 minutes in, and everyone was like, "Oh, hang on, he's just hit a move." They weren't really processing what was going on.
AJ Styles retained anyway,
and friendship prevailed for about 15 seconds.
Shinsuke Nakamura wellied him in the
ball smackage.
Right in the Southern boys.
Ball smackage. Shinsuke Nakamura.
Strength left in those.
Shinsuke Nakamura heel turn. Who saw that coming?
No one.
No. That's like 2 nights in a row that WWE have swerved everyone. First Roderick Strong, and now Shinsuke. That's the crafty bastards. They're up to something, and then they went and fucked it up with these last 2 matches.
It was good.
So we
it was
wait.
good to keep you on your feet. I was like, oh, what are they going to do next?
Well, I'll tell you, Cody.
I'm so angry. I'm going to have a wee. I refuse to talk about that.
This is why the night ended for Pete.
Hang on, haven't we missed one?
No,
this was the next match after
the next match. So we wait all night long.
No, we missed one.
No, we haven't. I'm literally following the card.
We've missed the SmackDown's Tag Team Championship match.
No, we haven't, mate. No, we haven't. We've covered this.
It was
Wake
7th
up.
on the card. So 8th on the card.
It is.
Did we talk about it?
Yes.
It happened just before Undertaker v Cena.
It's it's 20 past 5.
I was just zoning out for a minute. And I was kind of looking over there.
Anyway. So we wait all night, still speculating. Oh, it could be Joe. Could be Cass.
Could be Hulk Hogan.
Could be Hulk
Could
Hogan.
be James Ellsworth, but he might be in Europe, he might not be.
Yeah, he got tour dates.
I've
forgotten all about that. I'm even angry now.
And what we got was Braun Strowman going into the crowd, picking out a 10-year-old boy called Nicholas,
who we thought was a girl at first, until he said his name was Nicholas.
parading them into the ring, making them stand there, tagging them in for 2 seconds, tagging himself back in.
Blatantly on roids.
Comes back in. Braun has won, and Nicholas has also won.
I'm not having it.
Louisiana
20 bags in that loose hoodie.
The Louisiana State sports people are probably going to have something to say about it, because I'm pretty sure he hasn't.
Sports people will have something to say about it.
Probably, I mean, I'm pretty sure he hasn't submitted his blood cultures in for.
Blood cultures.
Mate, this has been a whole thing like over the WrestleMania weekend.
What's a blood culture?
I don't know.
Some American kind of sample.
Test.
It's the edgy version of what culture?
Ah, right.
Mike Gangrel.
Brood culture.
So yeah, I mean, you can only assume that this young lad has
now
something to do with
full-time roster member.
I mean, yeah, for one, but he's also probably a Make-A-Wish person.
See, I think it's too soon to say that.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's been no.
No, I mean there isn't, but I think that's the only justification I can give myself for not getting pissed off.
It's the broadest speculation going. Picked him out the crowd. Defo has leukemia.
If you want a 10-year-old to be your tag team partner, she's the one that's just been inducted into the Hall of Fame. JJ.
Yeah, little JJ.
Yeah.
That would have been a nice moment, though.
He said he wants to be a WWE superstar and he wants to wrestle at WrestleMania.
JJ was probably there as well.
He was. He came out for the Hall of Fame thing.
Did he dance?
He danced.
He did really well.
He's more charismatic.
Didn't win the tag champs though, didn't he?
And anyway, so that happened. So Braun and Nicholas are the new tag team champions of Raw. What the fuck is going on?
Shit.
And then came the main event for the Universal Championship. The crowd chanted, "This is awful." They chanted, "Boring."
And they were right.
And they were right. Brock Lesnar defeated Roman Reigns. It literally got interesting with 2 minutes left to go, where Lesnar whacked Reigns in the head with 3 very nasty elbows, busting him wide open, to which we all went, "Oh, all right, come on then." And then Reigns hit a spear, Lesnar kicked out, Reigns hit a 6th F5, and Reigns was done. Go.
I remember 4 things from this match: a German, an F5, a spear,
A German, an F5, and a spear walk into a bar.
and the elbow. Did anything else happen apart from those things?
He got F5
over and over again.
He got F5 onto a table.
Yeah,
I
that's
got
counted
really
as
angry.
F5.
Roman Reigns kept sandbagging and it was funny.
Oh,
as
yeah.
fuck.
Yeah. That is that match covered.
Into the barricade.
No one saw Lesnar winning. Nobody.
No, we all
Not
thought
one person saw Lesnar retaining tonight.
Nope.
After he
I don't know what they're going to do tomorrow
I
night.
genuinely expected to hear FABULOU because I thought there's no way that it's going to end like this. And I just didn't know what could save it.
Nothing.
What were we saying? Like, what can say is like nothing. Literally nothing.
A Roman Reigns heel turn, aligning himself with Paul Heyman would have saved it.
No, it wouldn't. I genuinely wouldn't. The Braun thing still would have fucking overshadowed all of it.
I think it's because we just set our expectations for Braun's partner really high.
But that's the fault
They
of
weren't that-
WWE.
That
What about
should be
expectations
at the
for Big
start
Show? And that
of
wasn't
the
high.
show.
The way they had this night structured was all wrong. Dead wrong. Putting Braun's match so close to the end, when it's going to hype people up,
It should have
the
been at the
whole
beginning.
point was because we all thought, oh, they'll put this before the main event, because anyone who still hates Roman will be buzzing about Braun's surprise partner. Be a great way to cap off their night, and then the Reigns win will end it for
They
everybody
should have
else.
swapped it with the women Asuka.
Yeah.
Have Asuka pre-main because it was like a big thing to happen so early on. It's like,
Yeah, I agree. That actually makes sense. Just
Asuka's streak.
that one change, moving the SmackDown Women's and the Raw tag team. That literally, like everything else on that card, is not in a bad order whatsoever. But yeah, I would agree moving those two rounds. But there you
Because
go.
Asuka's streak ended, she tapped out to Charlotte, and it's going to be overshadowed by some 10-year-old kid because it was on later. That's what everyone's going to take away from it tonight. Nobody's going to be talking about that.
And
Well, I don't know.
talking about Nicholas.
Like people talk about it now, and people will talk about it until in America until they go to bed because it's the freshest thing. But like we saw with the Ronda Rousey thing, the next morning or whatever, and especially with Raw tomorrow night as well, we'll see what happens on that. Like these things tend to unravel themselves, and people do remember them. Right now, yeah, that's what we remember because they were the last two things, and it was a bit shit. So tomorrow, it's like they will probably make a bigger deal out of it. Like, holy shit, Asuka lost last night.
I'm going to disagree
Let's
with
see
you.
how she does.
It's going to be very different to Royal Rumble because WrestleMania is the reset button. Royal Rumble leads up to Mania. That's the big payoff.
True, but then
That's
there is stuff unfolding after Mania as well, which is But there we go.
We'll see.
But there we go. On the whole, aside from that last whatever half an hour or whatever, honest to God, that was a really, really good pay-per-view.
It was okay.
I thought it was. I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it until the last two matches.
Yeah, same.
Like even the Shinsuke AJ match was slow or whatever, and it was a nice finish. And then to have what happened with the heel turn, that was really good. I was like, whoa, didn't see that coming. That was class. And then to go from that straight down to like what happened with Braun whatever. I mean, some people, I'm not sure, like whether people are just taking the piss because it's funny or taking the piss because they're pissed. I'm not really gauging social media this well at this time of night.
Do you think it was appropriate for all of the fans to chant what they did in the main when like...
Yeah, they paid so much money to be there, and that's what they give them for the main event.
Yeah, but...
And
That's what they give them for
Lesnar
Braun.
can't pull his own arse out. Like
he
can't pull his finger out of his arse.
change it up, doesn't he?
It's
His matches
atrocious
have
to be
been-
honest.
His matches have been the same since he's had that belt. Like,
Yeah,
literally,
exactly.
They've literally been the exact same.
It started exactly the same as every Lesnar match. Pick him up, throw him in the corner.
Do you know what we should do? We should do podcasts where we watch every Lesnar match from the past year.
I think I'd rather
That sounds atrocious.
lick my own balls.
I would rather rub my arse with a brick.
What you said.
That sounds good if you've got an itchy ass there.
Right, so
I
good night, ladies and gentlemen, from WrestleMania 34. We hope you've enjoyed our. Of course,
That's what I think.
before we leave, there is a small matter of the predictions. Candy retained once again. Well done, sir.
Congratulations.
Normally on the bigger events, it tends to be a bit closer, but you ran away with it. Well played. Pete has cashed in his Challenger's Right briefcase to avoid being a Virgil card of shame holder, which is now Alex.
Thanks.
Pass me my book a second.
Why?
Because I've got our records in the back of it.
What? Good catch.
I was bored one day.
That's good reflexes for 5:30 in the morning.
So Alex is now a 2-time Virgil card of shame holder, along with myself and Willow are also two-time holders. But yeah, I've got to update that in the morning. Well done, everybody. There's not much else to take away from that, really, is there?
Takeover was fucking better.
Takeover was sick. Go watch Takeover. Go cheer yourselves
And
up.
you've got an itchy bum, use a brick.
Yeah.
That is all from.
And friendship always wins, apart from when it doesn't.
That is that from us, folks. We will see you at our next FedWatch will be at Backlash. But before then, we'll have maybe 1 or 2 other podcasts to come out before then. Thank you for listening, and we've been A Few Good Marks. See you soon. Night.
See you next time, unless we've topped that.
Bye then.
Bye.
Night.